How are you guys doing? I hope you guys are having an amazing day today. I want to bring you an update on VeChain, just my own opinion, not financial advice. I'm going to talk about why VeChain is going to be favored here in the coming years, and it's going to be a part of this, new wealth transfer that's happening this generation, where people are literally taking a few $1,000s and turning it into millions upon millions of dollars because they were smart, because they were diligent, because they studied the markets, they studied the technologies behind these new innovations, and they were on top of it. They were early adopters and investors, so they deserve it. No one gets lucky here. This is just a compound effect of studying, putting your money into something consistently over time until it finally blows up and it gets adopted and utilized. So essentially what's going to make VeChain valuable is that over time it's just going to allow for more and more value to be transacted through that blockchain, and that will mean more dollars for holders, because if you're holding it, every single time something gets tracked on the supply chain, you're going to make some money. Every single time a vaccine gets put on someone and it utilizes a tracker or something in the future, because we know that's coming. If you're holding VeChain, you're holding the digital asset that enables for that tracking to even be possible on the blockchain, so no one can alter it, no one can change it, so no one can conceal it. And it's non-alterable, and that's the reason why they want it. It's super transparent. You can track everything. So, XRP Ledger, you can track everything. It's so secure. A Stellar Network is a fork of the XRP Ledger. Why aren't they utilizing the Stellar Network to run the USD coin, stable coin with Visa instead of Ethereum? Well, there's some clarity right now that Ethereum and Bitcoin they're not securities. They're in fact currencies according to the SEC, because they're not going after the founders of those assets. So why target XRP? Well, XRP looks like the only threat to Bitcoin as a store of value and as a utility coin, in my own opinion. And same thing with Ethereum. Same thing, because once you add Flare Networks, Flare Finance with the XRP ledger, you're going to enable for something that originally didn't have smart contract capabilities. It's going to now have DeFi and smart contract capabilities thanks to Flare Networks. And it's all going to be risk-free, decentralized. Going to be your own bank type situation. That's why this is coming. So they got to milk as much money out of Ethereum and Bitcoin. I know this sounds like it's conspiracy and stuff like that, but it will all make sense. I kind of went through a rabbit hole to kind of figure this out. But this is my own opinion, by the way. I have freedom of speech. I can say whatever I want. I can believe whatever I want. But I believe that the ex-chief and chairman of the SEC, Jay Clayton, he was involved in actually lining his own pockets. And he benefited financially from basically declaring that Ripple was selling unregistered securities. So either they shorted XRP knowing beforehand, sort of like insider trading, or they were in on something, it's going to benefit Ethereum and Bitcoin, because maybe they were planning to join, a hedge fund in the future that was heavily invested into Bitcoin, like right here. Like this article, I'm not going to read this, but not the entire article, I'll read the headline. Digital asset hedge fund One River adds former SEC chief Jay Clayton as advisor. So this type of stuff, just connect the dots and it all makes sense. Okay, you can pause and read this. Check shout out to Digital as an investor. You guys can read the whole thing if you guys go follow him. Don't forget about the student coin ICO. It's running out, and every single phase that's completed, it gets more and more expensive to invest into this ICO. You can actually invest with Coinbase. It's they're partnering with that. This is backed by universities and also investment funds. So this is a way to invest into something revolutionary. This is the biggest ICO of 2021. Don't forget about your 5% bonus if you do use my link. That's one way you can get in that early before this does a 10 or 20x. Because this has like 5 major exchanges that's going to be listed on May, June. So that's going to be a lot of money, a lot of price action coming if you look at the roadmap. All right, let's continue with the rest of the video. So I think in a world where we have full digital asset adoption, I think that the elites, the rich people, are going to be literally the only people holding XRP, Quant, and also VeChain. In a lot of it, I know VeChain's it's really cheap, like anyone can buy it and stuff, but not many people are in this. Most people are going to leave as soon as they get their 10x, 5x, whatever target they're setting for, and never coming back. And it's going to surprise them how high it's going to go up in the future. Just like with Bitcoin, there's a lot of people that got in that Bitcoin at $5, right? And they sold at $500. That's literally like a 100x. Insane. So a lot of people already got their 100x left and then never came back. They got priced out. So now they're buying like one Bitcoin for $50,000, $60,000 because they sold. That's why you're never gonna sell Vechain or XRP, because why sell an appreciating asset for fiat? Why sell something or trade something for a depreciating asset like material things? Why would you sell your XRP to buy a car or a house? I mean, you could buy a house, but it's not an asset until you make it an asset, until you make it, put money into your pocket. Once you can get cash flow out of your house by renting it and by utilizing, the equity in it to purchase other homes and stuff like that, then it becomes an asset. But if you don't do that, it's not an asset. So that's why I think that it depends on whose hands those digital assets they're on. If they're on someone who's financially literate, like that can actually, lend that money. So lend those digital assets or stake it and make money on their money, make their money work for them. Essentially, you're gonna make your money your slave, like kind of like what the richest man in Babylon is. Like the principle is about paying yourself 10% and making money work for you type situation. That's what I'm trying to talk about. If you can do that with digital assets, you won't ever have to worry about money. You will never have to worry about money because you won't ever sell, because it's just an appreciating asset that will never stop appreciating. It may be slowly, little by little, but it's gonna always appreciate and go up because it's gonna be in demand. Someone's gonna be wanting it. So it's like gold and silver, digital gold and silver. That's why I like VeChain. That's why I like XRP, XLM, guys. I see a lot of value in this as a long-term holder, because you're gonna be lending this, you're gonna be staking this. It's gonna be like a rental property basically. So instead of selling, why sell when you can just make it bring you cash flow and live off the cash flow that it provides without you having to sell? And meanwhile, it's growing in value, or equity, right? That's the magic of digital assets. That's why I think there's a lot of value and that's going to separate the weak from the strong, and it's going to separate the elites from the peasants. Now, I don't mean to sound, ridiculous with all what I'm saying, but it's reality. Like, if you want to elevate yourself in society, if you want to get to the upper class and go from lower to upper class, then you're going to have to decide to learn these money making principles and stick to them. Get as much knowledge and wisdom from books as you can. I recommend reading the book The Richest Man in Babylon. There's a lot of stories and examples on there. It's literally like many lifetimes of experiences and making money all compiled into one book, and you can get that from reading it. So I really recommend it if you want to learn about how to become rich and leverage your assets to make you more money, like make your money work for you, and implementing that's a good way to start and to start your financial freedom journey is by reading. It's literally acquiring knowledge. That's one of the ways. And the other one is like you're gonna have to pay with money by investing. You're gonna have to give something to get something. That's what I believe. I don't think there's a free of anything. Everything costs in this world. So it's gonna cost either your time or your money, because time is essentially money. A lot of people have so much time available, more than they would like to admit, yet they use it on Netflix, they use it on video games. So that's why if you want to be like the elite, you have to think like them. You have to have the same habits that they do, and that's they never sell their appreciating assets. They never sell assets like XRP. They wouldn't if they obviously see the same value that some people in the XRP community see in XRP, and that's going to be utilized. It's going to be very high valued and stuff because of the burn mechanism. It has to be a high value for it to work. Otherwise, it can't work. Can't be dirt cheap, like what David Schwartz said. So when you see stuff like that, and that it's gonna you're gonna be able to essentially lend it, stake it, why sell? So if you have a couple $1 million worth of XRP, you can get 5% on your money every year, which is a couple $100,000 a year. Why would you have to sell any of it? You just let it sit there and gain even more and more value over the next 10, 20, 30 years. Play the long game. Now you're worth basically billions, or hundreds of millions of dollars, and you never sold, and on top of that, you're still getting that 5% consistently. So that's the kind of mentality you gotta have with like the long-term value investing to digital assets. Is you gotta play the long game. We gotta have more patience, guys. Forget that microwave mentality where you want to 5-10x your money in 1 or 2 days. Forget all that, because it's these boring assets like VeChain, XRP, and XLM that don't really move much, or have moved less than most of the other digital assets, and are just as good, or if not better, in terms of value and like utility. But these boring assets are the ones that are going to surprise the rest of the market, that are going to do better than everything else out there, because they're just a lot of rich people are accumulating these, over the counter and stuff like that. So you're not really seeing it being priced in. But once it's all priced in, once you realize that all these institutions and banks are going to FOMO into XRP, companies are also going to buy VeChain to utilize it, to use it in their business. Bro, forget about that 86 billion circulating supply. This is going to be like nothing. This is going to be laughable. You're going to be trying to, even buying 100 or 200, it's not going to be the same as right now, where you could literally buy that for so cheap. You can buy $20 worth of VeChain gets you right now around 200 VeChain. That's insane. 5-10 years from now, this is going to be ridiculous. Looking back, I feel like it's going to be so expensive. Like, you're buying that same amount of VeChain 5 years from now, it's going to be ridiculous. It's probably going to cost you $1,000 or $2,000 or more. Who knows? So, yeah, it's just, that's what I see coming. This is not really like a price prediction. I know long term this is going to be extremely valuable to those who get in early. Just depends when you get on this. Like, if you get in this too late, if it's already $2 or $3, and yeah, it can go up. Give it time. You just gotta have patience, but it's gonna continue to go up as it's being utilized. But if you get in now, the potential for it to do a 10x, 20x on you, it's greater than if you get in later when it's already at $2. And that's when the majority are gonna get in. The majority are gonna get into these digital assets like XRP, VeChain way too late. I think by the time that there's the universal basic income that they're probably gonna start putting out there soon, because they're just printing so much money, I think that's when you're gonna start seeing the masses FOMO into this, when they have a reason to invest, when they're getting all this free money. But by then, it's too late. It's too fucking late. They waited too long. They weren't early investors. So that's why getting into this as early as possible is very important, because once they start handing out this free money like nothing, forget about it. This stuff is going to become extremely expensive. Investing into XRP, VeChain, because once they start realizing how powerful those digital asset investments are to create money and create generational wealth, it's going to be too late for them and too late for you if you didn't get into it. So that's why I think investing now is like the perfect time, especially with the government printing out so much money and stuff lately. Inflation is going to really cause everything to go up in price, including these assets. So yeah, I hope you all got some value from this video. I hope it wasn't too long either. If I did give you value, for sure leave a like and comment on this. This helps with the YouTube algorithm. You guys already know what to do. I'll see you guys in the next one. I'm out.